Hey everyone, and welcome to Love Dogs. We tell ourselves we picked our dog because they were just so cute, or maybe the perfect size for our apartment. But if you're here, you and I both know it's a little deeper than that. Today, we're going to dig into the really fascinating psychology of why you chose your dog.
So let's get right into it. Think about it. There are more than 300 dog breeds out there. All these different personalities, different energy levels, and somehow you pointed to one specific kind of dog and said, that one, that's the one for me. So, why?
Well, here's the thing. Psychology tells us that choice was anything but random. No, it was a deep, really powerful reflection of who you are deep down inside. Wow, this quote, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Your dog is a confession. So really, this whole explainer, it isn't just about them, it's about you. And we're going to break down the psychology behind the very breed you chose. The key concept we're talking about today is this idea of an unconscious autobiography. So what does that even mean? Well, it means you subconsciously picked an animal that mirrors the parts of yourself you either want to show the world, or maybe the parts you're quietly trying to heal. You're looking for a partner on your wavelength. So let's kick things off with our first big matchup, the thinkers versus the feelers. On one hand, you've got people who value competence and structure, and on the other, folks who prioritize kindness and getting along. Let's see how this shakes out. If you own a brilliant dog like a Border Collie, a German Shepherd, or an Australian Shepherd, a dog that absolutely needs a job to be happy, chances are you're a thinker. You're intellectually restless, super organized, and for you, love is a verb. It's something you do for people.
And what's really cool is the psychology behind this. There's a trait called a need for cognition. You didn't just pick a challenging dog for the heck of it. You chose them because you genuinely enjoy thinking, solving problems, and you wanted a dog whose mind was just as sharp as yours.
Now, on the flip side of that, we have the feelers. If you have a golden retriever, a lab, or a big old Bernese Mountain Dog, you're probably someone with high social intelligence. You're in tune with emotions, yours and everyone else's. And you're okay with being vulnerable. You're the glue that holds your friend group together, aren't you? The psychological engine running here is something called positive affect upregulation. That's a fancy way of saying you get that the world can be a tough place, so you made a very conscious choice to bring a living, breathing source of joy into your home. You're not ignoring life's challenges, you're actively fighting back with a furry ball of happiness. Okay, our next pairing is so interesting. The nurturers versus the protectors. This is all about the contrast between people who are drawn to the smallest, most dependent dogs and those who prefer the largest, most powerful ones. Let's talk about the nurturers, so owners of toy breeds, companion breeds. Forget any stereotypes. The psychological data suggests you have a massive capacity for empathy. Your brain is literally wired for caregiving. You have a huge heart and you are brave enough to show it. The psychological driver here is something called high parental investment. Now, this doesn't mean you necessarily want kids, but it does mean you have this powerful, built-in need to care for and protect another being. You've got a lot of love to give, and you found a companion who can soak it all in. And that brings us to the other side, the protectors. Owners of pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, you are so often the exact opposite of what people assume. You might be someone who feels judged or misunderstood, and you see a part of yourself in these incredible dogs. This idea of a monster with a soul. Tough on the outside, but a total softie on the inside. What's happening here is a mechanism called vicarious strength. By walking through the world with a powerful, confident dog, you borrow some of that strength. It becomes like a suit of armor. It's not about intimidating people, it's about feeling safe. It's about believing in being strong, but always gentle.
All right, let's get to our final pairing, the rebels versus the rescues. This one is for all of you out there who value authenticity and independence way more than you care about following the crowd.
The rebels. You're the ones who choose the stubborn dogs, the huskies that argue with you, the Shivas that give you the side eye. And why? Because you respect independence. You don't need a dog that fawns all over you. You're confident enough to love a dog that has a mind of its own. You didn't want a robot, you wanted a roommate. And that brings us, finally, to the rescue owner. The owner of the dog with no fancy papers, no defined breed. You looked right past all of that because you didn't want a product.
You wanted a soul. You looked at a dog that maybe someone else had overlooked or given up on, and you saw an individual, a survivor, a little being with a history and a story to tell.
And the psychology here is just so profound. By saving that dog, You are, in a very real way, saving a part of yourself. Every time you show them they are safe and loved, you are also healing some wounded part of your own past. You are a compassionate healer who truly believes in second chances.
But here is the beautiful twist in the story. You chose a dog that reflects who you are right now. But over the next 10, 15 years, that dog is going to witness your entire life's journey. And bit by bit, the dynamic is going to flip.
This incredible process is called co-regulation. It's where your two nervous systems actually start to synchronize. You stop just reacting to each other and you start becoming this single shared organism. You're not just an owner and a pet anymore. You're a team, growing and changing together in ways you never could have imagined.
So I want you to look at your dog right now. Seriously, if they're in the room, look at them. And forget about the breed for a second. Ask yourself this: what does this animal allow me to be? Softer, stronger, more playful? That feeling, that is the real reason you chose them.
Because here's the bottom line. You didn't just choose a breed. You chose a completion. You were missing some little piece of the puzzle of who you are, and you went out and found the exact dog that could make you feel whole. So, whether you have a clever thinker, a loving feeler, a tiny nurturer, or a mighty protector, you found more than just a dog. You found a missing piece of yourself. If any of this connected with you, please tap that like button. And we would absolutely love to meet your dog, so please drop their breed and their name in the comments below. And of course, for more insights into the incredible dogs we share our lives with, make sure you subscribe to Love Dogs. Thanks so much for watching!